about. So if I find that nimekosa relevance, I'll find something which will make you feel for me woye. And you see now, we are so much caught up on the woye thing, and tunakuwa victims, and we all go out angrily. Tunakuwa tunazungumza bad things, we judge people. Unamwona kama Cairo now, he has been opening life spaces. I'm talking of abduction. Now everything about Kenya now is about abduction, and nobody knows what is the truth. We don't know whether the police have taken this or
You're saying Gaido or Cairo?
Cairo, guy, the Kafat guy is Gaido.
Ulimi nzito ga. Is your wife is a Kikuyu? Mwambie akwambie akutranslate hapo.
Gaido, hiyo ulimi imekuwa mzito.
Gaido means fat fuck. Gaido. Go ahead.
Does it really mean fat fuck?
It should. If it doesn't, it should.
Probably ada dictionary.
No, mzee nilikuwa nimemleta kwa show yangu.
Yeah, I was there. I saw it.
Not even that day for the Nini. Before I had brought him on my YouTube when my YouTube was still alive. And he was supposed to be now a regular on my YouTube to tunaongeza stories of politics because I was very interested.
Because he has all the information.
Because now he seemed like he knows what he's talking about. Kumbe is just a vengeful not little, but he's just a vengeful prick who is just willing to kill anything and everyone, everywhere, every time. I'm like, eh.
But Kibe has to angalie, was this a political game? Am I somebody trying to get mileage on something that is going to benefit out of it? Because also remember, yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, when Raila was given this South African lady, he was asked, how can you be want to run affairs of Africa while you cannot even identify where the abductees in your own country? And Raila alikuwa anaomba maneno. He didn't have answers. Don't you think also that can be a result that these boys were released? Could that be also?
You see, the thing is this. You see, the thing is this. For us who are outside here, we are laymen. We don't know what's happening. Okay? Inakai game imekuwa ikiendelea for very long. Very, very long. It has been going on for such a long time. Us guys don't know we're being played and we've been played for all those years. Saa hii ndio tunaamka.
So are people trying to divert attention to something else? Because now we are talking of nothing. We're talking of abduction. We had bills which were being passed. We had the Adani thing, which nobody's talking about. We had the Ketraco, which Adani was done. We had still the deals which were still not adding up in the government. We still have the Raila thing, which is going on. We still have the IBC, but everything else has been put aside. We're only talking of abduction. So don't you think this is a mind game which is being played either with the guys in the government, or is the guys who are trying to get woye from the wananchi? Because everything now, everybody was talking of the abduction. Nobody was talking about anything else. So can this be a game which is being played by both sides?
You know, at the beginning when this thing started, even for me to find myself going Tao, I kept asking the question, hey, who is making these posters? Because in inakaa psyops, we're being played. But at the time, the emotions were so high, you couldn't really ask those questions. It was, share the fucking poster or we cancel you, you know? Do this or we cancel you. Do this or we cancel you. And I was like, hey, but this is very manipulative. This is like the woke language. So I cannot put it beyond anyone for them to have it. I cannot put it beyond anyone. Not beyond the government, not beyond the people who want to get into government, not beyond the CIA or the Americans. I cannot put it beyond anyone. I know what's going on. Because I don't. All I know is that this motherfucker lied. That one I know for sure. It's a lie, bro. Umetoka kuabductiwa, alafu ndio wewe unaingia kwa club. Hey, please save us the bullshit. So I know that it is a game going on. I just can't tell who's the puppet master, who's the game master.
Because being abducted is something very easy because I have experience of that one. But now, who is doing these abductions? And what is the angle? Who is doing this abduction? Because hii unakuta ukiangalia all
Ali, before you say that, first me I'm saying, why the abductions? Who are these people so that they're being abducted?
Just because
see,
somebody...
When they killed Tom Mboya, there was a reason to kill Tom Mboya.
Okay.
Tom Mboya was a threat to Moi's legacy.
To Kenyatta legacy.
No, is it Tom? Which one is one?
Kenyatta.
The one who was
Kenyatta.
The other one is
Robert Ouko.
Robert Ouko. That's the one. That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
So both of them, anyway, were threats to the presidency at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
It makes sense that you can get rid of that enemy that way. Who the fuck are these small boys?
They are nothing, because just sending a poster of a president lying on a coffin does not threaten the presidency. Because the president, his life is out there, his life can be scrutinized. People used to make... Remember, there was this cartoonist who used to be in The Nation some time back. I can't remember his name. He used to do posters for Moyes during Moyes' time.
Gado.
Yeah, and they were very funny clips. And nobody bothered about... People were laughing about it. But it was just a joke. We had the ridiculous who are imitating Moy. But these things have always been there. President always being imitated. President will always be put on the stand because his life can be scrutinized, and people will just judge him according to how he performs. So for him, for a small boy being abducted just because he put a poster of a president in a coffin, that does not threaten presidency. That does not threaten. It cannot even be... I don't know what it is taken to court. It was to court. What will be the charges? So why will somebody want to abduct a small boy who cannot even hajamaliza kunyonya matiti ya mama yake, bado anakaa kwao,
hata hajanyoa fudhi ati round ya kwanza. Sasa huyo unamadaka. Bro, you saw how that boy was holding on to his mother, yani. And I'm like, this is some weird motherfucking shit. This is some weird shit. I don't understand it, and I smell a fucking rat. Did you see that? That was some weird shit.
That was weird, because now there's somebody who... This is like a chessboard now. There's somebody who's moving these players to try to get grounds just to further their either political... inashindwa hata kureason, and you don't know what
You're at a loss for words.
I've lost the words today. I don't know. This is just a challenge.
Hebu ngoja wacha tusikie Ochieng. Ochieng amekuja hapa na mbio sana. Ochieng.
Yes, Kibe.
Ochieng is
Good morning.
Lema's dreams.
Kibe, good morning.
Good morning, man.
You know, like yesterday, Yoko alitubeba ufala ingine yenye at least unajua alibeba wale wajinga wafala. Yaani imagine unatoka alafu unasema za cabbage, inatokea wapi za cabbage na atulikuwa abducted na umenona uso ina shine. Ai. So how many Kenyans how? Alafu umeachiliwa saa 9 ati hujui mahali unaenda, alafu unaenda kwa disco Matanga. Hata ule mtu akae kama alikuwa abducted. That is a back psychology these people trying to, but wajinga waliisha Kenya.
Hizo picha unajua Lema, mimi when I did the Ride 47 I lost 7 kgs, okay? 7 kgs. Ali was there in some of those counties. 7 kgs riding around the country for 47 days. na nakula na nakunywa, unaelewa?
Yeah.
Wada kuniambia una dropiwa mahali saa 9, una identify disco Matanga, unaenda hapo, hakuna hata picha hata moja.
How now?
When I did my ride, everywhere I went, kuna picha. I have evidence of everywhere that I went. I took photos. People took photos with me. In fact, even without me, there are people who took photos with me. You're the biggest person in the country who has been okay. You're the biggest story. Let's say that the biggest story of
Yeah,
the day was release Kibet Bull. Releasiwa unaenda disco Matanga na hakuna mtu na report huko.
now it
Not
is
a
so
single
ironical,
person in that
like
disco Matanga has a photo of you.
it's so ironical that saying that phone ilienda mweke za cabbage alikuwa anatumia nini? This guy trying to play back psychology, but definitely Kenya, we are not fools anymore.
These are con men, and we fell for the con. These are con men. All these activists are con men. These are people who are being paid by one side or the other side. These are con men.
We have people with personal interest behind them. So when they have those minds, so that's where they normally get what to say. But we have people interest, personal interest behind them.
No, we need to call them out for what they are. These are cons. And they probably this group of people who've been scribbling abductions, they probably choreographed this whole thing the same way they choreographed the demonstrations. It's a choreographed thing. Sisi ndio wajinga, sisi ndio tuna fall for hii kitu aje. First thing unarelease unaenda unaanza kulia, hey, nitumieni za cabbage. Alafu because we are an emotional bunch of motherfuckers, tunakimbia hapo kusema, oh, thank God you've been released. Fuck you.
Yes, these people are trying to play back psychology, but Kenyans, we are no longer fools. Thank you, Kibe.
Thank you, Lema. Appreciate it. Leroy, what's up?
First of all, Lema kuna statement amesema hapo mwisho before atoke ati Kenyans are no longer fools. Kenyans are still fools as fuck.
We shall never stop being fools.
Fools as fuck, Kibe. Lakini unajua aitwaje? Sultan amesema kuna hiyo tunajaribu kugeneralize kitu. But for Kibet, when Kimani Chungwa was saying, umse amekuwa kwa hoteli. See, we called them, this is just a woman. Yeah, it's a woman. But again, Sultan kuna hapo mali alikuwa when Sultan was saying about this whole thing is a game. For Kibet now, you can see it's a game. But some other people get caught in between. We don't know the truth again. We cannot come into conclusions, Kibet. Out what unajua sometimes ni we are saying they cannot be a threat to the presidency. Yes, atijua amepost hizi the president in a coffin. Some things you have to be unachukuliwa unaenda unafunzwa manners. Hey, you are posting the president in a coffin. We take you, we go teach you manners, and we deliver you back. But again, tunakuja tena kujiuliza, yesterday hii maandamano ilikuwa ya 6th. Who was planning it? Nani alikuwa na plani maandamano ya 6th? Because let's be honest, it was not a real maandamano from anywhere. And then you tell me, look at who was pushing that maandamano for 6th. Number one, memes niliona sana ni Osama. Bro, and nobody is going with this story. The public is not going with the story of maandamano on 6th. But that 6th again is the same day everybody is being released. I Kibe, somebody is playing me.
Sasa wewe ndio donkey. You're the donkey, my guy. You're the donkey. Wewe sasa ndio nakutumia, we are riding you.
Exactly.
How dare? Yenyewe pia sisi ni wajinga. Na unaona watu watatuma za cabbage. Watatuma vile walitumia ile poko anaitwaje? Hanifa.
And then akina mtu aje Mudhoni, the drama queen now with that after Hanifa Mitumado and the way she was distributing money to all these people who are in hospital. Bro, I had Mudhoni the drama. She went on a podcast, the podcast that she went on a mic check. Oh, now Hanifa is like NHIF. She is a whole institution. We should actually give her the job.
let me tell you, this weakness, it congregates so fast. It is disgusting. It is disgusting to witness. This weakness congregates. These people know they have been conned. All of them, they know they have been conned. Bro, none of these boys came back even with a slap on the face. Minister Ishiko na Makarao, when I was in high school, tulikuwa tumerusha mawe tukavunja dirisha ya basi. As long as you're behind the line, you're a criminal. So the cops would come in, the ones who are coming in from their duties or whatever. They walk in and they say, "Hao wamefanya nini?" Walivunja dirisha ya basi. The guy slaps you. He does not know you. He was not the arresting officer. He slaps you right there and then. Pop! He was not the arresting officer. Yeah. By the time you're going back home, bro, I never ever wanted to look at another conductor in the eyes ever again. You want to tell me you have the energy to do a press conference after being abducted for those many days? Hey, Liz. I have been alive for too long to know when I'm being played. Motherfucker. You see, these are not the days of old when there was no internet, there was no verification, there are no other people to use their brains. Because before it was just the mainstream media telling you what to think. And there's no other place for you to go to take your opinion. Kwame, what's up?
Morning, Kibe.
Morning, my guy.
Yo, I think we might have an idea about this abduction thing. And if you remember last year, we spoke about the 4 pillars of Project 2025 and it'll begin 2024. Then Kibe, link it with what happened yesterday with the abduction thing and the way it was planned. And then if you look at yesterday's magazine on Standard, it said GMO maize to hit your plate after the end of public participation. And I went through that article.
The thing is this, I don't want to have to be under pressure to do oversight.
Mhm.
If these people are not working for us, why are we having them there? You get what I'm saying?
So, yes.
Either they're
So,
working
Kibe,
for
I've
us
been
or
following.
we get the jobs ourselves. But how can we have these people working for us and yet we still have to do oversight? Kumaanisha these are not Kenyans. We agree, hawa si wa Kenya, hawa wametoka place ingine na ndio kwa maana they are taking over our country. But if they are working for us, we shouldn't we, ni kama sasa ukiwa na wochi. Ukiwa na wochi uenda kufuatilia kazi wochi anafanya. Kazi yako ni kulala. You sleep because there's somebody who's taking care of their business. How come we have legislators who don't take care of our business? What is that about?
These guys are taking 10%. And also, that's something I saw in the magazine the other day. KRA staffs are complaining. These guys wanabadilisha staffs chini ya maji. And remember, we had a conversation with you the other time, last year, that kuna organization, the same organization that wants to take over our country, kuna venye walikuwa na train their KRA agents. And kuna kumbuka immigration imetola where it was, and we don't even know where it is. We don't know what has been happening. Then you again connect it with the refugees. So this is just a big operation, you know. So all this distraction to do with government, politics, abductions, it is to take our eyes away from the main thing, our properties. We are sitting on over 100 trillion Kenyan shillings worth of minerals, and we are being made to focus on things that really don't matter to us. So that is the game here. These are CIA agents in our governments. They are not our people. Hawa ni wazungu wamevaa suti ya black. That's the thing here.
All right. Thank you, Kwame. Today is going to be a very short space. I don't want us to waste time here talking too long. Oromo Republic, what are your thoughts this morning? On these abductions? Hey! It's good I didn't believe that shit. It's good I didn't believe it. I will sleep happier tonight.
Kibe, uliona vile sura zao zilikuwa zimeng'ara.
Hey bro, wako na haircut mpya bana.
Kibe, mimi nilitoa sell up in Australia for one night. Nilitoka siku ya pili.
Ulitoka umepaid.
Nimeumwa na umbu. Sura mzima ilikuwa kama dartboard. My whole hand ilikuwa kama dartboard. Ilikuwa imedungwa dunga. Hizo umbu ni kubwa kama size ya almost 2 centimeters. So I'm looking at these boys. Hata kama wameadaptiwa. Where were they put? Were they put in cell ama in a hotel room? Because they look like walikuwa wameshawa, wamepaka lotion na Vaseline. They were so
uko na nguvu ya kuongea.
Angalia trouser imepigwa pasi iko line.
You have the energy to talk after being abducted. There is nothing like that. Atitrawe iko imepigwa line.
Trouser iko imepigwa pasi iko line. What do you call that? Nikasema kweli mchezo wa town hii. It looks like
kuna time nilishikwa ile story ya nini? Story ya alcohol.
Okay.
Nilishikwa nilikuwa nimelewa sana. Nikapelekwa cell pale Kilima, pale karibu na Nairobi Kenyatta Hospital.
Okay.
You know that police station there?
Yeah, it was like a police station.
And I spent like maybe 6 hours there. Only 6 hours. And by the time I was getting released, first hujapiga shower. Haujaenda choo because huwezi enda hiyo choo yao.
Ndo.
So hiyo choo iko hapo. So when I got to the cell was so packed. The only place that had a space was next to the loo. So when guys were peeing, I could feel the pee droplets on my feet, because now what are you supposed to do? You have to sit. There's nowhere else you can sit. And by the time we're getting released, I did not want to talk to anyone. The first thing I wanted to do was go back home, take a good shower, rest, and pretend like that motherfucker never ever happened.
I know.
Like pretend like you guys for a whole day just disappear and don't want to anything. Bro, I didn't have energy to give that story on that day.
hizo kunguni za huko. You know, even my cousin, when she came and released me, she said, you are not going to enter in my car. I'll either get to your Uber or I get to a boda boda.
Unanuka.
Unanuka. Because that floor is cold. Hakuna blanketi. Hata hizo blanketi zitaka kujifunika nazo. Umbu ndo hao wamekudunga. So you come out of there, you're so filthy.
Tired.
So I'm looking
You're so tired. You're finished, bro. You don't have the energy to go out there and now give a nice press conference.
na alienda disco Matanga, alikuwa kwa na nguvu pia.
So ameenda disco Matanga na bado ako na energy ya kukaa kutuambia I'm okay and tell us where you are, how long you were there, who abducted you, what you saw. Give us details. Give us the bullshit.
Because the two guys who were abducted, the two brothers who were abducted, the one is it Kiserian, then they gave us a whole narration of how they were tortured. But then their stories are at least authentic. At least those ones were abducted. The boys who were abducted during the Mandamana, I don't know if you remember those two boys who were released much later.
No, I don't remember that story. I didn't follow it up.
They narrated their story. Their story was horrific, actually. You can even feel on their voice when they are speaking. It was a really, really torture. But out of these boys, no, this was choreographed properly.
Kuna mzee hapa amesemaje? But isn't Kibe now with UDA? I saw him praising Ruto the other day and it smelled like a payday loan.
Where did you praise Ruto?
You see, these punies don't know the art of communication. Ndio kwa maana kila kitu unafanya, they'll always misconstrue it for one thing or the other.
Wako na feelings.
It's always easy nongwe. These people they are brainless. Why deal with them? These are brainless motherfuckers. So there's not mtu akisha decide amekuhate, hakuna kitu tutaifanya. Akisha decide because the hate is what keeps them going. Without that hate, they disintegrate. Take away the hate. That person doesn't exist.
So Kibe, as Kibe, where do you see the Gen Z movement heading to? We're heading to 2027. Are they going to make an impact in 2027?
If they have any brains, they need to submit their will to somebody. If they have any brains, they need to submit their will because they have the numbers.
But numbers is not enough if you don't have somebody to lead you.
That's the thing. They need to submit their will. Wache kujifanya wanajua, hakuna kitu wanajua. Their time is going to come, but for now, they need to submit. I told them that from day one. You need to submit yourselves to somebody. Ndio learn. Otherwise, wewe ukiwa mjuaji, what are you going to get from that? Hakuna. Hiyo ujuaji wako nayo hii hakuna pali nawapeleka. So what they're going to do, and this is what's going to happen, is they're going to be weaponized.
By who?
By anybody. All you need to do is just give them the emotional angle. Make them emotional and you can weaponize them very fast.
So they react with emotion.
They react with emotions because of poor upbringing. So they do not know how to take no. They have been told yes all their life.
Because even yesterday we were having the same conversation with my young guys in the Gen Z. They say Ruto is going the next generation. I asked them, who is replacing him? Because for him to go, there must be a very strong opposition. Somebody who is standing now, who is campaigning now, who has a stand
now.
Right now that he's going to the Mashinani, he's going to talk to the Mama Mboga, he's going to take the people in the village. Because all where we are seeing in the social media, how many people are in the social media? It's very few people. I don't think it is even 10% of the population of Kenya. So we think everybody has the information, but you'll be very shocked. People in Mashinani, they have no idea what is happening. The only they hear is rumors, because rumors is what is propaganda.
Where to land a couple of places. Uko inje, remember when I started this. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I thought Twitter was everything. X, X ndio mambo yote. So when I started the Right 47, I used to post on X and then everywhere else next. Then I realized, watu huko nje hawajui X ni nini? Wanajua Facebook.
Yeah.
So hii outrage yetu hapa is very, very limited. Outrage is not even important outrage. It's such a limited thing. It doesn't make sense. Huko nje watu they don't recognize that, bro. Na mukiendelea hivyo, Ruto will rule till 2050.
He knows how to play the game. Hata juzi nikakwambia, I think
Kibe.
propaganda pays. I think propaganda now pays because now it looks the people who are propaganding are the ones who are benefiting, whether from the government or the opposition.
Kabisa. Sasa lazima uingie propaganda.
Kibe, there's something here I need to tell you. Larry has just posted something here. Hooded men with guns were back on the streets of Nairobi yesterday riding in a police car from station I've never heard of. You see, this is the way to socially program a society. Wanataka kuweka hizi vitu zikuwe like they are normal each and every time. So it becomes a normal thing to zoe nayo, ambapo in future, if Kibe says something that the government doesn't want, you just disappear. So we know that this is part of the society. People disappear and there's nothing we do about it. This is why I'm the part, but then I gave the idea on how to deal with these abductors, because Kisumu si tunajuanga. Ukikuja kwa abduct msee, the first thing si tutapasua screen, hata utajua mawe imetoka wapi. Then next the driver ataogopa, atatoa gari anaacha abductors chini. That is when mob wanabaki na hawa say. Hiyo kitu ndio ilienda ikaleta shida. The pastors who talk here in Kisumu, so they want to make this thing normal, and me I'm back in Kisumu and I'm telling the youth, we are not going to allow such kind of things in our society.
Wewe Kwame, wacha hizo maneno, because you don't know what's happening. Wacha hiyo maneno.
Yes,
because unajua stories yenye wewe hujui. Hii ni mchezo ya town, my guy. Come on, if you want to get into politics, get into politics. But don't be there thinking you know what you're doing. You don't know. These are paid actors.
Well, you see, Kibe, the one thing, if you want to protect your country or society, it begins from the inside.
Why would I want to do that?
No, me, I'm saying me. Sisi hapa kwetu, this is how we do things, and we will not allow any abduction in Kisumu.
I don't agree that there's anything like that going on. These are games you guys are playing. Everybody is playing the same game.
Sasa hiyo game they tutaki. We don't want them to normalize
something that we don't know.
We don't want them to normalize such things. That's those games.
Who's them? Tibet Bull alikuwa wapi?
No, leave alone the Kibe bulls and the other. I'm talking about these real abductions that happened back then.
Like which ones?
Kama Joshua Okayo. Joshua Okayo was abducted and he was tortured, and there's evidence. You see such things.
No, those are very localized issues.
They are my little brothers who have been killed.
Kwame, tuliza. Your story yako makes sense because we don't know who that Joshua guy is. We know Kibet Bull, the con man. Let me bring in senior counsel first. Senior counsel ameingia hapa na ubaya. Ngoja Kwame. George, how are you?
Hello, Kibe.
What's happening?
So there's a very good question that Alim Chiapo just asked you. What do you think is going to be the future of the movement? I mean, history is the best teacher, except for the Gen Zs, because Gen Zs think the world started in 1997 when they were born. But for the rest of us, history is the best teacher. Before there was the Gen Z's movement, what was the other movement before that? I mean, the biggest movement before that, what was it? The repeal of Section 2A2B? Is that the biggest movement?
that time of free political prisoners. Remember that time?
The free political prisoners, yes. I am. That's exactly where I want to go. Who? Okay, let's even stay with the free political prisoners. Who benefited from that movement?
Orengo, Gitobu Manyara.
The Kanu orphans.
Ginyo Karaoke.
Ginyo Karaoke, yes.
Merugi Karaoke.
This guy with dreads, he didn't manage to leverage.
This is Koigua Amwere.
Koigua Amwere.
So, and there was another one with Koigua Amwere, I can't remember his name.
But even the woman, the hummingbird woman, what's her name? Wangari Maathai.
Wangari Maathai.
He benefited very heavily from that movement.
Yes.
She was even given an assistant ministerial post.
So now we cannot count 10 people that benefited from that movement. That was my point.
Yeah, I see what you say. It is hard to remember
We are
who-
struggling to come to 10 people
Yeah.
because even Charles Robia and Kennedy Matiba did not benefit from the movement.
But Matiba disrupted the movement because he was the one who was brought to this.
Let's just stay in the movement, not the aftermath of it. Let's just stay in the movement.
George IQ, as you talk about, by the way, the movement thing. Remember back then, these guys didn't have the social media we have today.
And what is the relevance of that?
Well, you guys have been making noise on X, and you can see what you guys have done within these couple of months. Isn't that something to be proud about?
I have no idea where you're going with this. Help me understand you. I only have 1.5
No, I'm saying
brain cells.
the movement this time has gone. It's being done in 3 level kind of. Now, street, constitution,
Hello,
and
guys.
also using social media. You see, that's how the movement is taking shape.
Movement? What movement?
Kwame, you'll be surprised.
You know, let's go to 1944 with Eliud Mathu. That was the very first member of the Legislative Council in London from Kenya. Do you think the current movement has more leverage and it has more coverage than the agitation for an African to represent Kenya at the Legislative Council? You think they could have achieved something different if there was Twitter?
Well, back then there was also something.
Those guys made more gains in 1944 than the nigger class Gen Zs will ever make, even if they were given 100 years.
It's fine. What I'm saying is
The Mau Mau people, if you want to believe the story of the Mau Mau, the way it is told objectively, they achieved more than your wildest dream in 2024. But that is not the conversation here. The conversation is, out of every movement, how many people benefit from it? And we were in 1990, and we cannot count 10 people that benefited from the protest of the repeal of Section 2A, 2B, and the subsequent release political prisoners movement that came out of it. We are comparing, because the question was from Ali, what is the future of the Gen Z movement? History is the teacher. We look back, 1990. What was the future of that movement? The group that Moite and Orengo and Imanyara and Mirugi Kariuki belonged to used to be called Young Turks. Give me another name of the people in the Young Turks beside the 4 I have mentioned. That silence is what is going to happen to the Gen Z movement.
Well, that's what I told you. No, you're not listening. You're not listening. You're using the past where you can change the past. You can look at the past and you see what you missed. What you missed and what can you do to rectify what you missed and make it better in the future. That is what I'm talking about. You are talking about the past as if we're supposed to copy-paste it. Is that what you're talking about? We're not supposed to copy-paste it. We're supposed to analyze the past.
Are you a Gen Z?
I'm a millennial. I'm a younger millennial.
You and Gen Z, same WhatsApp. Your generation is not interested in the history.
Well, I'm one of the guys who lost his brothers. Kawota Mali Raila alikuwa anapiga kelele. So I'm telling you what I understand about these things, these movements.
So what you lost a brother, was he yours to keep?
5 of them.
What is this nonsense of I lost a brother? Was he yours to keep? He died
Well,
in whatever
so,
circumstances he died in. He was not
but
yours to keep.
haven't I answered what you're asking for?
No, because now you are using the death of your brother as some woye, you know, step in your life, in your movement for, I don't know what kind of liberation you are fighting for. Your brother was not yours to keep. You did not
Okay,
lose your brother.
what is
Your
the
brother
point? I
dropped
think I've
dead.
answered you. I think I've answered you for you to rectify what you're doing now. Look at what you guys did in the past and what you guys missed that time, and how you guys can counter using that in the past, in the
Okay.
present, going to the future.
What did we miss?
Like, that's why I told you. You guys don't see what you guys have what Kenyans have done in the
No.
past few months
Let's stay
using
on
social media.
for the next 5 minutes. Let's stay on what we missed. Just that. Stay on that. Just narrow scope of what we missed.
Number one, what we missed is that these guys were doing the divide and rule thing, kind of, right? They have been trying to do the divide and rule since June this year. But we are still holding, as much as we have a couple of people who have betrayed us, we are still moving on with the revolution as it goes. We are keeping in fact, we are now the opposition. The opposition is not doing their work. The MPs are not doing their work. No one is doing their work. It is Kenyans doing their work. Something that Kenyans were supposed to have done since that 1945 thing. Are we not doing it? Are we not speaking? We are speaking. That is something. If you see nothing in that, then bro.
Okay, let's stay on divide and rule. You mean like the one of Francis Gaido?
Exactly, and those are some people I don't even have to care about.
No. You are in what we missed. What we missed in 1990 was we were not united. There was divide and rule between Martin Shikuku, Kenneth Matiba, and Raila's father, Oginga Odega. That is the divide and rule, and Masida Morilo. Okay, now in this today, isn't that divide and rule embodied in Francis Gaido? Isn't that divide and rule embodied? Siro kidogo. Maliza sentence yangu. Isn't that divide and rule embodied in small boy Boniface Mwangi? Isn't that divide and rule embodied in what you perceived Cairo was? Isn't that divide and rule characterized in Hanifa? I hear you all accusing her of saying you can protest anywhere else, but don't touch State House. And you take that one as the divide and rule. No?
You are speaking about their views, not my views. Our view is we are fighting for a country that has been
we are talking about Masida Murilo's views.
Forget about these guys who have moved away from the movement.
There is
You
nothing to
focus
learn
on
from
what
history.
we are doing now. You are telling me to focus on Hanifa. What does Hanifa has to do with me?
There you go.
You see, I'm not focused on Hanifa.
Subiri kidogo. Kibe, before Ali asked you this pertinent question, what was your comment before that? These people are not interested in learning anything. Forget about Hanifa. Forget about Masida Morilo. Forget about Gaido. Forget about Martin Shikuku. Forget about...
But George, why should I be fighting for Hanifa while I am a Kenyan and individual and I have a right and I have an ID and I have documents to fight for the Kenyans, same as you. I'm not supposed to be taking your energy and using your energy to fight for something that is not going to benefit. I'm supposed to fighting for all of us. So I'm doing my part. Hanifa is doing their part and those guys are doing their part.
But the context here in 1990, there was divide and rule. But when I displayed the current day divide and rule, you don't want to see that.
It was divide and rule, and that is why it has not worked until 2024 last year. And this time, it is the people who are united, and the politicians are having problems within. You can see they're having problems all over.
It's divide and rule.
So it is the politicians who are divided, the people are united this time. That is the difference, if you can't see it.
Which people are united?
Well, you are about to see what is going to happen in the next 2 months. You wait and see.
We are always waiting to see something on the next Monday.
Exactly.
On the next Monday. 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 Sidio? But you are doing
Well,
better because there is Twitter, there is Facebook, and there is IG. You are doing better than Eliud Mathu in 1944. You are doing better than Laila Odinga in 1982. You are doing better than Shikuku and Matiba and Rubia in
Kibe,
1990.
can you take
You
over?
are doing better.
Huyu jamaa amenirudisha kwa history zingine zenye they don't make sense to me.
Yeah,
They
they
don't make
don't.
sense in today.
I am
Today they will not help
100%
you.
sure
Those
they
history
don't
will
make
not
sense.
help you because the same people who are involved are the same people who are oppressing you today. So how is that history going to help you, bro?
Do you know why they have generals lead wars instead of cadets?
For me, nimekuuliza, the same people who took over are the same people oppressing you today. What are you doing you today instead of complaining? I see you're
Oh,
complaining a lot.
me, George NGNGA. Is that the question? Is that your question?
And that's why I've asked you, the
No, no,
people
no.
who took
Slow
over
down, slow
are
down, slow
oppressing
down,
you
slow down.
today.
Slow down, slow down. You want to talk about me? Let's go
You are
there.
singing, okay, you are singing to me about those guys. Why don't you tell?
No,
They
no,
are the
no.
people oppressing you
Answer the
today.
question I'm asking you. Are you asking me, George NGNGA, what I am doing? Is that a real question?
I don't know what you're doing unless you tell me.
No, I'm asking you, is that what you are asking me as a
It's
real
a
question?
rhetorical. It's a rhetorical, bro. So
Ah, you are
you
not
don't even get these
interested. You
things.
are not interested in the answer. I see what you did there.
George, thank you a lot.
For what? So, where are we, Kibe? What is the future of the movement, of the Gen Z movement? And we were in 1990. What was the future of the movement in 1990? The only person that transformed themselves from the young Turks, from the freedom fighters, if you want to call them, from this guy agitating for change, the only person who transformed themselves, it was statesman, James Orengo. Nobody else. Nobody else. Gitobu Imanyara, the moment Rusi Kibaki went to Nation newspaper and held a newspaper like this, Gitobu Imanyara disappeared. Koigo Wamwere, with all the support of the Scandinavian countries' money, when he came back, he could not transform himself into a statesman. He couldn't. He tried. I think Koigo Wamwere is the case study of what happens to leaderless, headless group of people. People who do not have a solid, cemented backbone on that which it is they are seeking. In Koiguamuere's countryside, out there on the outskirts of Nakuru, they only voted for him once. They were like, Gekeneke. I think at some point he was even given as assistant minister for something. He couldn't transform himself because the anger was too much. Now look at the Gen Zs. They cannot even have a civil conversations. They truly believe the conversations are insults, and insults are conversations. Beyond that, nothing. The anger is way too much. It blinds them. Paul Moite, he became member of parliament of Kikuyu. Well, he was a young member of parliament of Kikuyu at the time. He could not transform himself into a statesman. His own people rejected him and voted some offshoot commoner to replace him in Kikuyu before it was divided into Kabete and whatever it is now. So what is going to happen to the Gen Z movement? The same thing that happened to the Young Turks. The same thing that happened to Raira's effort to overthrow the government in 1982. If I give you Raira's name and I give you what was the guy they nyongad? Hezekiah Ochuka. And I give you the other one, Otieno Makanyango from Alego. Give me anybody else. Makanyango, Hezekiah Ochuka, Raila Odinga. The 1982 movement to overthrow Moi's government. Do you know anybody else? Kapenguria 7. One moment, Kibe. One moment. Kapenguria 7. It's called Kapenguria 7 for a reason. It's only 7 of them. I'll give you Kenyatta, I'll give you Pogay, I'll give you Makanyango. Give me anybody else you remember from Kapenguria 7. That is what is going to happen to this movement. Chances are, the only person you're going to remember is Kasamuel. Because he had an early insight to position himself with the people inside of the system, people inside of the government. I was going to call him Makanyango. Kasamuel is probably the only person we are going to remember of the Gen Z movement 10 years from today. Kibe, you are going to say something.
I was actually going to read a tweet by one of your nemesis. But yes, Kasmuel is going to be one of the few. And if Morara doesn't join these people soon enough, he might also disappear. But your brother, you call him what? Afro loser, nigger centric. How do you say it?
Yeah, that son of Kitui witch doctor from the lineage of witches. Yes. What is the tweet?
It says this is a very foolish space. Kwani hawa wanaishi Kenya gani? Kibe and George low IQ must be looking for work from Itumbi to push such foolish narratives on spaces. This is an insult to all the Kenyan youth that have lost their lives to this rogue government and the youth still missing. What are your thoughts on that?
So number one, he is here listening to the foolish space. Let that sink in. He is here listening to this foolish space. Number two, that which I was going to benefit from Itubi, this is a formal appeal to Itubi. Please cancel my name, George NGA, and in its place, put the name Afro Loser Nigger Centric. What was going to be paid to me, pay it to Afro Loser Nigger Centric. Kwinodoge. Iko kitu ingine. Mimi, I'll continue to work for Itubi, but I don't want to be paid. I want Afro Loser Nigger Centric to be paid instead. If this is work, because one thing you are not going to do, you are not going to silence me with my opinion. My opinion and my asshole, one and the same thing. You have those two also. So my opinion, you are not going to censor. But payment, I donate all of it to you. Sikezi measure. Kwinodoge.
Disco Matanga. Who else is here? DJ. DJ, one more time. Okay. Oromo, you've not said anything. Are you here? And one thing you guys should know is that this space, when I open my spaces, I am open to both negative and positive responses. So if Afro-centric you are here, you can come in and give us your views. You don't have to feel bad about it. Just come here and tell us, oh, you guys are this and that. I have no problem with that. In fact, I invite it. I'm tired of listening to George always saying his, giving his thoughts. Yeah.
I'm tired of listening to myself also.
Ali.
Yeah. But George said something there about when he was having a conversation with Kwame. Kwame said the movement by then on the history, it did not make any impact because they did not have social media. When the repealing of Section 2A, actually, I was caught up in that fracas. People were coming from Kamukunji ground where tear gas were being thrown. And this movement made a very big impact. The whole country, they wanted multi-party. You could have seen how the reaction was all over. And this time, there was no Facebook, no Instagram, no nothing. That movement was so strong to a point that even it shook the whole sitting President Moi, who was very powerful. And the communication was up to machinani. So this movement, what they have now, is only in the social media. And it's only maybe the Gen Zs, the ones who have internet, and the ones who are in the urban area. When it was when we went for referendum, they're about the chungwa and the orange. I don't know, Kibe, if you remember that. I'm sure you were in the country.
Yes, I remember 100%.
You remember how that movement strong it was?
There has
Raila,
never,
when they were
bro, in Kenya, there's never been a stronger movement than repeal Section 2A. The second one was banana versus orange, didn't you?
Yeah, that referendum.
Yes.
The way the opposition won that referendum. And that time there was no social media. So I don't know what Kwame is talking about, where it's only the Gen Zs who are fighting the government, where they have no leader, they have nobody who is guiding them to the right direction. So until such time that they come up with strong people with strong mindsets, with strong vision of showing people where they're heading, we can back them. But at the moment, we're just seeing spoiled boys who are just angry out of nothing just because they have been told somebody of theirs has been abducted, some of them has been killed, something they need to change, they want Ruto to go, but to go where? And who is going to remove him from that seat? That is my biggest question. So how are we supposed to support them if they're acting out of their feelings? Because this is not supposed to be feeling. This is supposed to be logical thing. We want this out, and we want this other guy in, and this guy has better better pointers. That's why we need him in that seat better than the one who is sitting now. At the moment, we don't see anybody because we see the person who was supposed to fight Ruto was Raila, but Raila has already crossed over, and we thought Uhuru will sort of back the Kenya, but Uhuru has also bought the bandwagon. We've seen the Kanu is all in the government, so we don't see anybody stronger to come and defeat Ruto in 2027. This guy is going to have a landslide victory, whether he rigs, if people don't vote him, he's going to have a landslide. He's going to be in the next 5 years. So we'll just sit. Tunasema tutafanya nini our asses? Kibe, your famous say, what do you do with us? Tuzipake mafuta, tugoje tudinywe.
Paka siage, my guy. Paka siage.
Ali has to dog whisper to his gay characteristics. Gay Ali. Closet ni yangu Ali. Come out.
Toka nje. Toka nje bwana. Aya, Nubian King, nimeona umekimbia hapa mbio sana.
We, Kibe, happy new year manze.
Hizo iziliisha bro.
Manze, bado tuko tu.
Hai tunangoja tu inauguration ya Trump. Anything else is a lie.
Manze, si wachana tuongoje huo rezo tuone venye atatupeleka juu. So, mtu kama Ali, yeye ni mzae. Alafu vijana wakifanya mistake, Ali anakuja anasema ati sahi sasa vijana unajua hakuna kitu yenye tunafanya, ati hakuna kitu yenye anafanya na kuweka leader. Ye kama wazae wanafanya nini? Unacheki? Kitu moja ni aje. Okay, mimi nitaweza kubali niseme aje. Unaona ni aje? Hii movement haiwezi songa mbele kama ni watu wa social media ndio wanakuja kama ni watu wa social media tindi yao ndio wanasongesha movement. Lazima kuwe na mtu wa political leader. Na political leader kitu mimi ninasema ni aje. Si hakuna ati mtu kama wakina Osama ati Gaido ati ama nani atakuja tuongoze. Ni msemo mwenye anazoea political kwa sababu politics is a dirty game, na lazima kukuwe na mtu mwenye kukuwe na mtu mwenye ako kwa politics anajua venye politics inacheza, na hivyo ndio iko. So far maybe wameidentify Okiya Omtatah, maybe hiyo ni kitu ninasema maybe. Lakini kitu yenye mimi niko sad nayo ni kusikia wazae kama kina Ali ni kama hata wenyewe wame lose hope. Ile design yenye wanasema ni aje. Okay, kwa hii politics ni kama sasa majenzi sasa ndio hao wenyewe sasa wana fight na politics. Wanasema ati sasa hii movement haiwezi. So tuongoje ati hao wase wachague mtu mwenye ataongoza waende mbele, ati kwa sahi hakuna kitu anaona. But nyinyi kama wazae, point yenu ni gani? Nyinyi mtawezaje direct watoi wadogo wenye wanajaribu kufind out, wanajaribu kufigure out venye hii politics iko? Nyinyi mtaweza wasaidia aje? So nyinyi kama wazae mmekaa chini kwa backs.
Unajua Nubian King, uko na watoi?
Manze mimi niko na mtu mmoja na ni molested.
Huyo sio wako, fanya DNA wacha uongo
kwanza alafu.
Wachana George. George. Okay.
If like me, I have children. So if my son doesn't listen to me, I am done with him. He ceases to be my son. If my own son doesn't listen to me, I am done with him. There's no more business we have. Tunaongea nini? Kama unisikizi, basi wendo usikize mwenye unasikiza. It's the same thing we told you from the day one. You young men and women, no, not women. You young men, you are so effeminate. You have your mother's nature. Ndio kwa maana mnafight wanaume. So ukisikia sauti ya mwanaume unakasirika because you are still angry at your father. Ukisikia sauti ya mwanaume unakasirika, una jam because hutaki uambiwe, because you've never ever been under any real authority. So you're not listening.
So
even now,
so Kibe to say
you're still disparaging. You're still here to bitch. Where is the humility in the youth where they listen to the older people? Because mnaambiwa kitu hapa. Do you know who Rubia is? Do you know who Kenneth Matiba is?
Kenneth Matiba sinamjua.
Unamjua kutoka wapi?
Kenneth Matiba bana nimesoma hadi mariba zake jo.
So the only thing you guys know is what you have been told. You guys have never experienced this. So you're experiencing for the first time. Najua mko na tunyege because hai labda kizungu imenoga. Ndio sasa mnaweza ongeleza wazae vile mnataka. But these people, we have seen this game being played before. If you do want to win anything, then you have to take the advice of the older people who have been there. Zamani walikuwa nasemaje? Raila anaweza ona mbali kuliko akiwa amekaa chini kuliko kijana kamekaa juu ya mti. And they were talking about Raila Amolo Odinga.
Okay, so Kibe, listen.
Which information do you have to bring to behave the way you're behaving? Because you're very mannerless.
Okay, so listen to me.
An extremely mannerless fellow.
Wait, nisikie Kibe. So sahi mko ile design sasa au vijana hapana na wacha nikuulizaje. So sahi imebaki ile kwa sababu unajua nchi si yangu peke yangu. Nchi pia ni yako pia. Si hata wewe
sahi imebaki.
Hapana. Sahi imebaki ni aje? Sawa.
I want to direct you. Go to the
sawa, sahi imebaki ni aje? Okay. Sisi kama yenyewe tulienda hivyo bila kuwasikiza, si ndio? Lakini hakuna ile design yenyewe kama wazae mtasemaje sasa wase walishaenda ati kama hao watu hii ati walijifanya wametangulia, alafu design ati sasa tutawaacha wakaibu, na design ni nchi sisi wenyewe tunaendelea kukomboa sisi wote pia. Hata
speak for
kama
yourself,
venye
because
hata kama
Nubian King.
sikia Kibe kwanza, sikia kwa
Mimi kama hapa ati nikusikize tafadhali, please don't waste my time. I'm not here to listen to you. I listened to you guys for a long time and there's nothing new you're telling me. Waswahili usemaje? Mtoto akililia wembe mpe. You guys feel there's a need to liberate the country. Do what you have to do. The same way Mau Mau felt there was a need to liberate. Not everybody was with Mau Mau. Not everybody wanted the country liberated. Some people were happy with the Mzungu. So there's some people who are very happy with the government right now. Not everybody wants liberation. So instead of consolidating and making yourself strong and coming up with real strategies, nyinyi mko kwa emotions, mnajaribu kuwa watu wale hawaja click na nyinyi. No, you look for your own team. Build yourself first. Stop looking at it now to kill everybody else who doesn't agree with you. No.
Lakini Kibe, si nchi ni yangu na yako. Mbona sasa we mbona we umeanza kuja sasa kwa ma feelings?
Nubian King. Inchi ni yako wewe. Whatever you see wrong with that country, fix it for yourself. I may not see a problem.
Kibe.
Ngoja. George, unataka kusema nini?
I wanted to ask the same question I asked that young guy before. Why are wars led by generals and not cadets? Nubian King, you know why I'm asking you that question. Why is the leadership of a platoon entrusted to a general and not a cadet? Why is that?
Kwa sababu general akona experience. He got experience, he got the teachings, he got the training. You cannot let a cadet leader.
Did he sit at one of those universities on every exit on Thika Road to get the information and the experience? How did he get the experience?
He got the experience.
How did the general get the experience?
He got the experience by going through all those stages, right? Like he was a cadet one time, he got to be like a lieutenant, and then he went to be like a second lieutenant, and he was a general. So that means he can lead it because of the experience he went through when he was climbing up the ranks.
In short, he's been there, done that.
Yeah, that's sure.
What rank are you now in?
Corporal. I'm a corporal.
How did you get there?
I climbed through the ranks. I was getting the experience. I did the training. I passed the training, and they were like, okay, this guy is good to go to the next rank. And that's how it is.
But why you didn't tell them in your Kenyan accent? I have a degree from Kenyatta University and I'm a Gen Z. Give me the rank of corporal and a few coins while at it.
Manze haifanyanga hiyo. Because I had to do like according to the formula yenye wameunda and according to the ranks.
There is a formula. There is a formula. There is a formula. No, not just a degree from one of these universities on the exits on Thika Road. I thought that was the qualification. You can speak English, the ones your grandfathers bought from the colonial rule, better than this shrub in Kikuyu. Then you qualify to be a leader. That's not enough. There is a formula, you are saying, to this madness. Why are they rigging this for the Gen Zs? Gen Z should be able to be at the top. Hey, I'm a Gen Z. Look at my birth certificate. I was born after 1997. I am the leader now. I'm sergeant. I know everything. I read it in a lab in Moi University. No?
But George, before Honorable talks anything. Okay, we realized like we fucked it up, right? Tulikuwa tumeenda kwa street yenyewe, we thought like okay we would change anything, but we noticed like unajua ni aje manze, hii kitu kumbe venye tulikuwa tunaipeleka kwa speedi. Kulikuwa na wasee hata walikuwa among us na walikuwa mabetrays, walikuwa gava imekuja pia infiltrate kama kila kitu. But mbona sahii pia inakuwa sasa ni aje, nyinyi mnasemaje? Okay, you Gen Zs muliamua kuenda mbele, you continue with your own thing, badala kwa sababu tumerudi chini, you people be like unajua ni aje, so this is the way to go hivi na hivi. Kwa sababu hata kama mimi kama kopo, mimi saa zingine nitaweza kuwa nimejaa na ma feelings, niko like okay, mimi ni sniper, niambiwe ni aje, enda shoot msee, alafu aniambia usishoot tu jamaa, wacha jet ndio ikuje lipue msee, na mimi niko like hapana, I want to make my first kill manze, give me ya kushoot, nipatie ya kushoot. Lakini mko like okay, hii jet inakuja ilipue, at least itaua wasi kibao kuliko wewe utumie hii bunduki yako uue watu wawili na alafu uanze kuwavamia. Why are you people not saying that? You are like okay, because we decided, Gen Z decided like to go forward, tuliamua ati tuende mbele na tufanye hivi vitu yote. Sasa ni kama okay, you guys go and do whatever the fuck you wanna do, but nchi ni yangu mimi pia na wewe. At the end of the day tunataka to liberate both me and you. Hiyo ndio kitu shida yenye mimi niko naye manze.
No, but Kibe anakuambia over and over, wewe code inahitaji liberation, nchi yake haihitaji liberation. Wewe nchi yako ndio inahitaji liberation. When Mau Mau went to the bush to fight the Muzungu, the Kabas didn't see anything wrong with the Muzungu. The coast people didn't see anything wrong with the Muzungu.